Alright, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to tonight's Share League match between Oversoul and Calamity. This should be a very good match. This is the teams that are currently 3rd and 4th place in Division 1. So, very much looking forward to this. I think it was yesterday I casted the match between the 1st and 2nd place teams in Division 1, so... Really getting to cast some very good Division 1 Cheer League action here. The map tonight will be Brax's Holdout. So I'm just getting out the draft links here, and we should be all good to go. So this is going to be using the brand new Cheer League drafting system, which is very cool. Yeah, let's hop over to that right now. So this Cheer League had been using Top Drafter, but I think everyone probably got fed up with it a little bit. I mean, Zarya came out like a month ago, and I think she's as of last week, she still wasn't part of the site, which is a little crazy. So Super Jova went to great lengths and put together this really nice new drafting site. Oh, hang on, I gotta switch. Two people need to be switched up in the lobby, but yeah, so I believe, in typical Cheer League fashion, I do believe that the new hero Samuro, I do believe is available. And I kind of expect him to maybe be picked up here. There's no, as far as I know, there's no requirement that you have to have a hero to at least level 5 to use him in Cheer League, unlike in Hero League. So if someone's only gotten a couple games in with him, they can certainly use him here tonight. I think it's still a little bit early to say whether or not he's all that strong. You know, I looked at the HOTS logs win rate for him just before coming out here. I guess he's at the top, but with a very small sample size, it's really hard to tell. So I think we'll probably need at least a few more days to kind of see where he's ending up upon launch. But I've had a lot of people say that he does seem to be fairly strong, so which I can certainly see. So I had a quick match game before this. I was trying out the new hero, try to brawl, but anyway, the quick match. So the other team had Samuro and the Lost Vikings, and the Lost Vikings were grouping, so it was just bodies and bodies and bodies and bodies. It was absolute madness. So the draft has begun, and Oversoul does have first pick. So I believe I got to cast the very first match with this new draft system yesterday. It's already been an upgrade quite a bit. I really like the Cheer League logo on the cards there. You'll see they kind of flip over when you select a hero, like their cards. Looks like everything's looking good with the countdown timers and everything. So, but it looks like it will be Zarya, who is first banned by Oversoul. So very thankfully that they don't have to ban out Murky, and we have to all pretend that's actually Zarya's picture there. So with this new drafting tool, can actually ban out Zarya, which is nice. And it will be Malfurion banned out for Calamity. So far a very standard draft. Have not seen any dramatic shift in the first pick first ban in the past couple weeks. But it will be Oversoul with the first pick. So this is Brax's Holdout. Might be a little bit tough to tell with just the icon there. But it'll be Chen picked up for Oversoul. So Chen, he got some nerfs in the last patch. Which, I guess there weren't any balance changes today. I guess just maybe some bug fixes and things. In the addition of the new hero. But Chen's, his health got decreased. Along with his regen. So, not quite as tanky as before. Has to rely on his shields a little more. his drinking, his alcoholism. So the immediate response to Chen is going to be Tychus. So because Oversoul, because they picked Chen, they probably are going to leave him up in the top lane solo. So probably still going to need a warrior as someone who can control the 4-man. Either that, or they could leave Chen bottom and then have some other kind of solo laner top. But yeah, I think the big strength of Chen is his ability to solo lane. Be very, very tanky. Thanks to his rampant alcoholism. So there's going to be Li Ming picked up for Calamity. So I really think there's a very strong response to Chen. Pretty much the most strong response you could have. So you have Tychus, who can absolutely chunk him down. Then you have Li Ming, who can take advantage of that. Burst him down from that point. Get a kill, get a reset. And proceed to just go on a rampage against the entire enemy team. So Kael'thas picked up for Oversoul. I actually like KT on this map. This is a map where people are really kind of forced to all bunch together. Some really tight choke points around the beacons, which means that he can get a lot of value out of his flame strikes and his living bombs. Okay, so it will be ETC picked up for Oversoul. So I think we're probably going to see Chen in the top lane, and then probably going to have ETC stay in the bottom lane. I'll be curious to if he goes with a stage dive or mosh pit here. This is a fairly small map. It's a 2-lane map, so don't get a tremendous amount of value out of stage dive, but we shall see. So we're on to the ban phase. So Calamity going to choose to ban out Ariel, which I think makes sense. Lunara's still on the table, who could pair very well with Ariel. There's still a few partners that Ariel could still pair very well with. And given that Chen doesn't have mana and neither does Ariel, that gives them both a tremendous amount of sustain, which is very important on this map. Yeah, I think this is one of the stronger maps for Ariel. I think he's also really good on Battlefield of Eternity. So one more ban coming out here for Oversoul. So Calamity, they don't have a... Okay, I was going to say they don't have a warrior, don't have a support. So they choose to ban out Rexxar. So they're kind of banning out the one hero who can kind of go toe-to-toe to some degree with Chen in the top lane. Rexxar is a gigantic pain on this map to deal with. So wisely banned out by Oversoul. I stand corrected. Calamity actually does have a very good answer to Chen in the top lane. That answer is Thrall. Thrall, very difficult to kill thanks to his trait. Tremendous amount of sustain, which is very good on this map. Don't know that he can force Chen off the point, but he's certainly not going to lose the lane. And thanks to his ability to always keep his health all full, it's going to be very difficult for Chen to kill him off. And we see Uther picked up, also for Calamity. I don't know about the Uther pick here. I'm really not a fan of Uther on this map. This is a map that's tremendously about sustain, and Uther, very difficult for him to sustain. He has tremendous mana problems, even into the late game. And his heals, they're very bursty, but then they're at cooldown for basically centuries. And I don't see any real great Divine Shield target, so I don't know, not liking the Uther pick too much. But hey, speaking of supports who have tremendous amount of sustain, Lieutenant Morales picked up for Oversoul. So between the healing of ETC and Morales, and the tremendous amount of efficiency that both of them have in terms of their mana usage, Oversoul, I think, is really going to win the sustain battle. And the ETC Kerrigan front line can be absolutely terrifying. Of course, Muradin going to do a lot to try and counteract that. Muradin very good against melee, so he's... I think he'd do a lot to slow down Kerrigan and stop her from being quite so devastating. But I like the Muradin pickup. I think that's solid. Yeah, a little surprised to not see any no Samuro. A little disappointing. I was kind of hoping to see him here on the first day of his release. I know some people have some experience with him on the PTR, so it's not like people are totally inexperienced with him. But going back to the drafter real quick, I really think Oversoul won the draft. Yeah, they have a very solid soul laner in Chen, and they have a very solid 4-man squad that has a tremendous amount of sustain. And I think Calamity may be a little bit squishy. You know, they do have 3 assassins. Oh, granted, their Tychus and Thrall are fairly tanky. Tychus for sure, but could be a little bit vulnerable to Kerrigan. And with how much melee they have too, you know, between Uther, Thrall, Tychus kind of, Muradin could be very susceptible to living bombs from Kael'thas. But we shall see. Alright, so everyone is ready, so we are going to get this party started. Liking the changes to the UI here on the loading screen. But for the side of Oversoul, it is going to be Angie on Lieutenant Morales, Chank on Kerrigan, Magic Pants on Kael'thas, Hallie on ETC, and Elysia on Chen. And for Calamity, it is going to be Heartbreaker on Uther, Sukami on Li Ming, Daoran on Tychus, Calypso on Thrall, and Bruneo on Muradin. Yeah, so I guess they color coded the player text based on what team they're on. So really nice little touch.
Facility powering up.
We're about to begin.
So it looks like KT going for a Flame Strike build. So he's really gonna have to rely on his team to keep him safe, protect him from being dived by the evil Thrall and Muradin and Tychus Li Ming potentially. So it's looking like, not surprisingly, we are going to see Thrall up in the top lane. It looks like the rest of the team is being fairly flexible. You know, they are staying kind of in the middle. So Chen's staying very back. He knows he doesn't have his team with him. Whereas we see the rest of his team on the bottom being more aggressive. They know they have 4 people down there. Not too much that could happen to them that's all that bad. But meanwhile, major party bush situation going on here. For Calamity. They're all being very patient. Chen not taking the bait, staying back very far. Wants to be careful until everyone shows on the other team. Now, it looks like we do have a pause, so. But yeah, I think this is a very smart play of Chen. He doesn't see where everyone else is on the map, so really kind of has to stay back. Of course, he could just be lagging, and that's why he's staying back, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I assume it's because he's a smart player, a wise player. So while there's a pause, I just got a cheer league email, so it looks like someone else wants me to cast. Is that tonight? Is that after this? Ugh. Not gonna be able to pull it up on my phone. Oh well. So not sure what the issue is. Could be some lag. But it looks like the patience ran out here for the side of Calamity, and now choosing to go down to the bottom lane and help with this 4-man push down here. Looks like we're all good now. So, as expected, I mean, we are going to see Thrall versus Chen up in the top lane. Nothing too terribly exciting up there, but going to be keeping an eye on the action down here. Really watching KT. KT is going to have to be very careful until he gets his stacks. Going to have to be careful about following up carrying combos like this, because he will have to step forward to do something. As Uther drops the hammer on him. Tychus, though, very, very tanky. I think he's the tankiest ranged assassin in the game. So, despite a great combo from Shank on Kerrigan, Tychus going to live.
The beacons are energizing.
Let's see, so far, I mean, this is what I'm talking about with Uther. Like, Morales is basically a full mana. Uther, half. Now, Uther did take Conjurer's Pursuit, so his mana regen will get better in time, but he does have some talents later on to do some more healing at reduced mana cost and Benediction, but he's going to have a tough time, especially in the early game. Which is especially scary because that's when Kerrigan thrives. Kerrigan, one of the strongest early game heroes in the game. So, bottom being controlled here by Oversoul. Whereas Thrall has managed to control the top lane. The top beacon for the time being. So far he's done a great job of chunking out Chen. Not totally sure how that happened, but Thrall so far absolutely dominated his top lane. So Stormbolt comes out from Murden, not going to accomplish too much. And so far it's looking like control of the bottom double Shank in a lot of trouble on Kerrigan, but the safeguard and the healing beam comes out from Morales. Going to stop Shank from going down. For a moment there, it was looking like this bottom beacon was going to go over to Calamity, but thanks to the save there on Kerrigan for Morales, once again the stalemate has resumed. But everyone is now tapped on the side of Calamity, so seeing a bit of a play on this bottom beacon. But even despite this tap, still unable to just compete with the massive amount of sustain that Oversoul has, thanks to Morales and ETC. Gotta give ETC some credit for that. Being the kind of bard warrior. Hey, we did see him pick up Prog Rock. So, Thrall had been winning this lane decidedly up top, but Chen somehow managed, despite being chunked up, managed to finish off Thrall in the top lane. So, despite Chen winning this top lane, we do see the rotation from Li Ming and Uther up to secure that beacon, making sure that he's unable to take it. Which I think is very smart. You want to always make sure that you're controlling one of these points. So even if you have to really hardcore concede one of them, as long as you get one of them, you're doing fine. And Chen, an angry Thrall comes back and I believe finishes off Chen. Thrall gets his revenge. And I'm curious if that's going to force any kind of response out of Oversoul up into the top lane, because no one's up there, they're missing Soak. Thrall is going completely ham on that wall. But I think they don't want to risk giving up control over this bottom beacon and having the first Zerg wave going over to Calamity. Don't worry, I didn't see that. I didn't see that zero distance dwarf toss there. Yeah, so Chen coming back to contest the top beacon, but not going to be able to do that with Thrall and Li Ming and Tychus all in his face. And thanks to Tychus and his minigun, I don't think that juke is going to save Chen. Oh, he might get away? No. But great juke by Chen, but not enough to get away from those three. So once again, we're at a stalemate as far as the beacons go, but this is slowly going the way of Calamity. Thanks to the pickoffs of Chen in the top lane. They already have a level lead. And finally, for the first time, they're able to control both beacons, so... And we see Thrall come down from the top lane to really secure this this bottom lane. And get a kill, and maybe two. Angie going to get out of there on Morales. KT, though, not so lucky, and I can't tell with this UI, but I may... Let's see here. Did he get his stacks? No, he did not get his stacks, so... Honestly, that was a huge pickoff on the side of Calamity. But Chen, though, in some trouble. Going to start drinking. I don't think that's going to matter when he has Tychus and Thrall in his face. But the power slide down here on Uther, who, poor Uther, has no mana, no health. Calamity doing everything they can to hold on to this bottom beacon, but it's not going to work out. The power slide comes in from ETC and is going to finish off Li Ming. So the good news for Calamity right now is that they have control of one of the beacons. They've been soaking top, whereas all the soak has been missed by the side of Oversoul. And we see Chen go right for the beacon and not for this minion wave here. But they're all being very careful, very patient, waiting for everyone to leave before reclaiming this beacon. But because Oversoul was able to hold that for just really just a matter of seconds, they were able to take the lead there on the beacon charges. So I would like to point out we are 8.5 minutes into the game, and still no Zerg. But we do have level 10, though, and that is going to result in Kerrigan going down, thanks to the Dragon Laser Drill from Tychus. And some help from Li Ming and Thrall as well. So, I think we're probably going to see Thrall continue to guard this beacon, make sure Chen doesn't come there and take it. Magic Pants, though, in a lot of trouble, gets the cleanse, which is going to get him out of the mosh pit. And that is going to save him. So great cleanse there from Angie, from Angie on Lieutenant Morales. Gets KT out of the mosh pit. We see Thrall trying to be a little cheeky here, trying to steal the fire bats. Don't think that's going to work. Chen able to sniff it out. And it looks like both of these beacons are going to go over to Oversoul. But Thrall and Murden trying to contest that. Out comes the Maelstrom. Fortunately, Kerrigan kind of just going to have to run away with it. And Kerrigan in a lot of trouble. Thrall going to be able to finish her off. I think actually the Calamity from Li Ming finished her off. So top has been secured for Calamity, going to secure the bottom one as well. Yeah, I don't think there's anything that Oversoul can do to stop this. I think this is going to be a 100% Zerg wave in favor of Calamity. Even if they all rotate top to try and take that, they're just not going to have time. But big power slide comes in on Thrall. The Phoenix able to help finish him off. Tychus goes down as well. So Calamity, they're able to secure the beacons, but lost a couple in the process. Is it worth it? I don't know. Maybe. But they're still going to have a substantial Zerg wave to deal with. You know, I am very happy that the team Calamity does have Li Ming using Calamity on their team. That's good. That's good hero team name synergy. So good for them. So we saw the Zerg wave for Calamity able to take down the top fort. Of course, the bottom fort I think had already been taken. So despite having the superior wave, I think it was probably only an even trade, at best. So, after 10 minutes, we finally got our first Zerg wave. Now that it's all been cleared up, both teams choosing to go and pick up their camps. Which I think is smart, especially on the side of Oversoul, knowing that Thrall will like to try and sneak a camp here now and then. So level 13 about to be reached for Oversoul. And they have vision of the other team. May try to force a fight here once they hit their team, but no, looking like that's probably not going to happen, as 13 has been reached by Calamity as well. I was thinking maybe ETC would stage dive in, but no, he did take Mosh Pit, which is what I thought he might do, considering how small this map is. So far, not too much happening. Beacon should be coming up here fairly soon. Stormbolt from Murden going to stop him from getting power slided by ETC. Power slided, power slid. Like, take your pick there, probably. So, the beacons are coming up. Both teams kind of postured towards center, although Calamity headed towards the top. They know that one is not being heavily contested right now. Chen was thinking about going to take it, but knowing that no one on Oversoul is showing, and that beacon was being taken, probably not at a numbers advantage there. So Firebat's picked up here for Calamity. We'll then go to rotate to take the bottom beacon. Of course, Oversoul did get about 6% on there, which is not too much in the grand scheme of things. Firebat's stolen by Calamity, which is going to force a bit of a response here out of Oversoul. They will have to clean that up, otherwise they're going to lose their fort wall. And meanwhile, we see both of these beacons being taken by Oversoul. I would have thought maybe after stealing the camp, Calamity would rotate top to at least take that one. Which they're definitely going to have to do, because these beacons are charging very, very quickly. But Li Ming going to get to it to stop it, but it's still going to get to about 70%, and she's going to have to get out of there, because that is a worrisome situation. Meanwhile, a big power slide mosh pit comes down from ETC, but Kerrigan is going to fall. Angie in a lot of trouble on morale, is going to fall as well. So far, this is looking very, very good for Calamity. The chase is on for ETC. The power slide back in, trying to peel for KT. I think ETC able to guitar solo, get him a little bit more healed up, and get him out of there. So despite Oversoul getting the early charge on those beacons, now they've both gone over to Calamity. And we see Murden just bullying Shen off of that top one. And a very strong team fight for Calamity has gotten them back control of the beacons, which, of course, as soon as I say that, they lose control of the bottom one. EDC, everyone back up on the side of Oversoul. And without Muradin, Calamity's got to be real careful about taking this fight here. Of course, as soon as I say that, Muradin shows up, so think everyone's good to fight here now. But Stim Drum has gone off on Kerrigan, but she is going to be just deleted. Tychus in a lot of trouble as well. But Uther going to save him with the Holy Radiance. And now Chen may have overextended a little bit. But no, going to get the shields in. Going to get the leap on Li Ming. And Chen had his ult available, so I think it may have just come off cooldown. But now Chen able to get the chase down on Li Ming, who's probably going to go down. No, Li Ming able to juke Chen there. And Chen, not realizing that he did that ult with almost no health. So as soon as that ult ended, had no health, and I believe it was the tower finished him off, so a little bit rough there for Chen, and Morales has got to be careful, as Muradin has showed up, and no doubt quite angry. But Morales once again turning to a Hearth a little bit too far forward, gets sniffed out by Thrall and Muradin, but he does have tap available, so no need to Hearth. But the power slide from ETC comes in, but the laser and the stun from Uther are just going to erase him. Speaking of being erased, Morales is erased as well. Chank going in hard on Kerrigan, and the living bomb from KT manages to finish off. I believe that was Thrall. KT finished off Li Ming as well, so that was looking pretty bad for Oversoul, but really managed to turn that around. And I think we were really seeing the power of KT there. The insane, the very, very heavy melee comp from Calamity. Yeah, that's kind of the bad thing about a heavy melee comp. There's a lot of targets there that are all grouped together in the front line. They love to spread living bombs to each other. And living bombs do a lot of damage. So Chen coming up top, trying to get control of this top. You get both teams so close to getting 100%. Oversoul is at 90, so if they can get this, which it looks like they will be able to, they're going to get themselves 100% Zerg wave. There it is. So the second Zerg rush of the game, superior Zerg rush wave, going over to Oversoul. And there are still going to be some Zerg to deal with on the bottom from the side of Calamity, which is being defended by 3, which is... I would think you would want to push in a situation like this, where you have the superior wave. But Oversoul playing very cautiously. And their wave will be destroyed before even taking down this fort. I mean, this top fort doesn't have a scratch on it.
Resetting pens as per protocol.
So it looked like someone calling for a party bush situation, which is something Calamity going to have to be very careful of. Muradin walking right in the middle of it, but that's something he can do as Muradin. Avatar is popped, and Shank on Kerrigan going to be taken down. But Uther is going to fall. Angie in some trouble, being dived pretty hard by Muradin and Li Ming. And Chen running for his life. This is KT. Don't think he's going to get away. No, the Li Ming going to finish him off. Chen, I believe, is going to live. He is fairly tanky. And I think we were probably going to see boss here picked up for Calamity. Yes, we are indeed. This boss definitely hurts a lot, but as long as you don't stand and stand in the poop, so to speak, it's not too bad. I've kind of noticed it's a little bit similar with the... Whoa, Thrall ends up going down to the boss there. See, this thing definitely hurts. Li Ming goes down as well. They may not be able to take this. We may see a steal here for Oversoul. It is rough to try and take that boss with without your support. I believe Uther was still dead there, and Tychus getting away with just a sliver of life. So despite killing, I think that was a 3 or 4 for 1 trade there for Calamity. The fact that Uther went down and they didn't have healing made it very, very difficult to take down that boss, and Thrall ends up going down, and that led to a chain reaction of deaths and the boss being stolen by Oversoul. So not only are they going to get the boss and finally this top fort, they're also probably going to get this entire Zerg wave too.
Blue team has destroyed.
Only 2 are left to defend this boss. And so far this boss took down that entire top fort. That cannon tower doesn't have a scratch on it. So very, very dramatic turn of events here in favor of Oversoul. I mean, unfortunately for Calamity, activated the throw pit, and I mean, you hate to see that kind of thing happen, but so far all hope for them is not lost. Managed to take down ETC. The chase is on for Chen, and a big Sunray comes down from Calypso, going to hit 3, but unfortunately not much in terms of follow-up. But they are going to take down this boss. So this boss managed to take down the keep, and the Zerg wave managed to take down the bottom keep. So, and Li Ming in a lot of trouble, may not get away. Oh, just barely escapes those mean, nasty Zerg. And Thrall goes down. This may be game. Yeah, this is going to be game. Murden goes down. Zerg are on the core, and that is going to be GG. So, I mean, really, really rough game there for Calamity. They thought they really had it, control of the match for the majority of it. But yeah, for a while it was back and forth, but I thought it was slightly in favor of Calamity. But despite, I think, not having the superior draft, I do think they were outplaying Oversoul for a good portion of that match. But, you know, they went for that boss. They didn't have their support. Yeah, maybe there were a couple shots they could have dodged. You know, a couple shots from the boss that they could have dodged and maybe survived long enough to take that. But just, I mean, just a real heartbreaking loss there for Calamity. But I mean, that's how the game goes. You know, taking a boss is always a risky proposition. You know, sometimes the other team sniffs it out and is able to steal it from you and create a huge momentum swing. So, congratulations to Oversoul. I thought it was a very well played match by both teams. I thought they were both showing like why they're at the top of this division. Both clearly very, very good teams. Yeah, I think it could have gone either way very easily. But I will go over to Oversoul, who will advance in the standings in Division 1. So congratulations to them. That is going to do it for me for now. Let me see here. Let me check my... Just give me 1 second. I think I might be casting another match here in a little bit. Let's see here. Okay, never mind. That's a match for tomorrow. So that is going to do it for me for tonight. I thank you all for watching, and please do subscribe if you'd like to see some more of my casts. Thanks, guys.